Tonight, God is calling you to a moment unlike any other. He is saying, this is your destiny. Do not miss it. Every day, people go through life thinking opportunity is endless. That timing is accidental. But tonight is no ordinary night. It is the divine intersection of preparation and purpose. It is the night where your faith, your readiness, and your obedience will converge to manifest the life God has designed for you. Understand this: God operates on a perfect timetable. He never rushes and He never delays. But when He calls, you must respond. Tonight may be the defining moment in your life, the moment where God's favor meets your readiness. The challenge is simple: will you recognize it, or will you allow it to pass unnoticed? To ignore this call is to defer your blessings, to postpone the destiny that has been written specifically for you. Every individual has a purpose, a divine assignment. You were born with unique gifts, talents, and a mission that only you can accomplish. Some of you have been waiting for the right moment, for the right door to open. Tonight, God is saying, step forward, for I have prepared this path for you. Faith is not passive. Faith is the activation of your destiny. When you act in alignment with God's timing, mountains move, opportunities appear, and doors previously closed swing wide open. Consider the journey that brought you here. Your experiences, your trials, your victories, and your failures, they were all preparation. Nothing in your past was wasted. Every challenge was a lesson, every disappointment a setup, every victory a confirmation that you are ready. Tonight is the night where preparation meets divine opportunity. To be present and alert is to position yourself to receive what God has been preparing for you all along. Action is critical. Destiny is not claimed by those who wait, it is claimed by those who respond. Hesitation has a cost, for the opportunity that passes tonight may not return. Step boldly, speak with conviction, and move with confidence. Align your thoughts, your words, and your actions with God's will. The moment is now. The timing is divine, and your response will determine the trajectory of your life for years to come. Finally, remember that your destiny is bigger than just you. Your obedience tonight impacts more than your own life. It shapes your family, influences your community, and creates a legacy that can touch generations. When you embrace what God has for you tonight, you are not just stepping into your personal success. You are stepping into a story of purpose that echoes across time. Tonight, hear God's voice. Recognize His timing. Step boldly into what He has prepared. Do not allow fear, hesitation, or doubt to keep you from the destiny that is rightfully yours. This is your moment. This is your night. Seize it, for it may never come again. Divine timing is the cornerstone of every life that achieves greatness. Most people live in a constant state of impatience, rushing through life as though the universe owes them their breakthrough immediately. They compare their journey to others, wondering why their blessings seem delayed, why opportunities seem scarce, why doors that should open remain closed. What they fail to realize is that life is not random and nothing is truly accidental. Every event, every encounter, every challenge, and every success is orchestrated by a wisdom far greater than human understanding. God's timing is not based on your schedules, your calendar, or your convenience. It is based on perfect alignment between your readiness and His plan. There are moments in life that are so crucial that missing them can alter the trajectory of your destiny. Tonight, that moment may very well be before you, waiting for your recognition, waiting for your obedience, waiting for your faith to respond. Divine timing is precise. It cannot be hurried and it cannot be forced. It requires patience, understanding, and discernment. Those who learn to recognize the appointed time do not have to struggle endlessly because they move with the current of God's plan rather than against it. There is a rhythm to destiny, a pattern, a sequence of divine events that must unfold exactly as designed. When you try to step ahead of God, you step into frustration and confusion. When you lag behind, you miss the moment that could have changed everything. Timing is not simply about the calendar. It is about preparation meeting opportunity. Everything in your life has been orchestrated, not haphazardly, but with intention. Your experiences, your trials, your training, your failures, and your victories, they were all steps leading to the exact point where you are meant to be. The universe may seem indifferent, the world may appear chaotic, but in the unseen realm, every moment has been calculated to produce maximum impact. Recognizing divine timing means understanding that delays are not denials. When something does not happen immediately, it is not necessarily a rejection. It may simply be that the conditions are not yet right, that the preparation is incomplete, or that the alignment has not yet been achieved. You cannot rush God's plan any more than you can force a seed to grow before it is ready. There is a season for everything. A seed must germinate in the soil before it bursts forth into life. There is a moment when the rain falls, a moment when the sun shines, and a moment when the harvest arrives. To act prematurely is to risk wasting energy, and to act too late is to risk losing the reward. Divine timing ensures that the results of your labor are multiplied beyond what you could achieve on your own. It is why some people struggle for years only to encounter success in a single moment. It is why some doors remain closed until the perfect combination of circumstances converges. Timing, when orchestrated by God, magnifies your effort, accelerates your growth, and expands your influence far beyond expectation. There is also a spiritual dimension to timing. God's plans are not merely about achieving personal success. They are about aligning your life with purpose, character, and destiny. Every opportunity has a spiritual assignment embedded within it. To seize a moment at the wrong time is not only ineffective, but may divert you from your true path. To miss the appointed time is not always the end. It is often a lesson in patience, faith, and discernment. Yet to recognize and act upon divine timing requires sensitivity to God's voice. You must be alert, attentive, and aware. Your spirit must be tuned to the frequency of the divine. You cannot discern the moment if you are distracted, disobedient, or self-focused. Divine timing comes with an invitation to alignment. It calls for obedience, humility, and readiness. It tests your faith because the timing may not coincide with your desires or your plans. It challenges your patience because what you see may be delayed, hidden, or seemingly invisible. But those who learn to walk in harmony with divine timing experience breakthroughs that astonish the mind and defy the world's logic. Consider the stories of individuals who seemed ordinary, but were elevated because they arrived at the right place at the right time. Their success was not a product of luck. It was a product of divine timing. Their preparation had reached completion, their character had been refined, and their faith had been activated precisely when opportunity presented itself. The doors opened effortlessly, the resources appeared unexpectedly, and the people they needed came into alignment at exactly the right moment. This is not chance, this is design. Divine timing does not act randomly. It is intentional, deliberate, and precise. It is the unseen hand that moves before you, guiding your steps, positioning your encounters, and orchestrating circumstances for your benefit. Your role is to recognize the timing, to respond without hesitation, and to act with confidence. The critical mistake many make is trying to force timing according to their own understanding. They push, they manipulate, they attempt to control, and in doing so, they disrupt the sequence of God's plan. They become entangled in frustration, stress, and disappointment. To embrace divine timing is to surrender control, to trust in wisdom greater than your own, and to act when the appointed moment arises. Every person has moments in their life where destiny and opportunity intersect, but not everyone recognizes them. Some see the moment and hesitate, some see it and doubt. Others do not see it at all because their focus is elsewhere. Tonight, that intersection may be present. Tonight, your readiness may meet the opportunity that has been orchestrated for your life. The challenge is simple yet profound. Will you recognize it and step into it, or will you allow it to pass, thinking that tomorrow will be enough, thinking that another chance will come, thinking that you can create your own timing? Timing is not your possession. It is the gift of God's wisdom, and it comes with expectation. It comes with the need for discernment and the responsibility of action. When the timing is right, your smallest step in faith can produce monumental results. Your obedience to the appointed moment releases what has been held in the spiritual realm, what has been prepared by God, and what has been waiting for you. This is why patience, readiness, and sensitivity to the divine are not optional, they are essential. Divine timing is also a test of faith and character. It is easy to grow frustrated and lose hope when things do not happen according to our schedule. It is easy to look at the world and believe that success is for others but not for us. But divine timing requires endurance. It requires faith that what is meant for you will not pass you by. It requires trust that God's timing is perfect, even when your understanding is limited. Recognize that delays are not denials, interruptions are not rejections, and setbacks are not failures. They are all part of the perfect timing of God's plan. Every step you have taken, every experience you have endured, and every lesson you have learned has been preparing you for the precise moment when destiny arrives. Tonight could be that night. The moment you have prayed for, worked for, and waited for may finally intersect with the divine schedule. Recognize it. Step into it. Respond to it. Because divine timing is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary, between missed opportunity and fulfilled destiny, between struggle and success, between frustration and breakthrough. Every individual has a purpose, a calling that is uniquely designed by God. From the moment you were conceived, God knew you, and He knew the mission He wanted you to fulfill. Too many people live their lives without ever acknowledging this divine plan. They drift through life reacting to circumstances, chasing what seems important in the world's eyes, and measuring success by standards that have nothing to do with their true purpose. Recognizing your God-given destiny is not a suggestion. It is a command for those who understand that life is meant to be meaningful. Your destiny is not a random collection of events or a series of coincidences. It is a carefully crafted journey, orchestrated by a God who knows the beginning and the end. The problem is that most people confuse their desires with their destiny. They chase wealth, recognition, or status, believing that these things will fulfill them, only to discover that they are still empty because they are not aligned with what they were created to accomplish. God's plan for your life is far greater than temporary satisfaction or fleeting achievements. Your destiny is a purpose that only you can fulfill, a role that has been reserved for your talents, your experiences, and your spirit. To recognize it, you must first understand that life is not primarily about you. It is about the plan that God has for you. You must see yourself not merely as a human being trying to survive, but as a vessel created for significance, influence, and impact. Your destiny is the reason you exist, and it is tied to the people, places, and opportunities God has prepared in advance for you. Many people fail to recognize their destiny because they are looking for signs in the wrong places. They wait for dramatic events, extraordinary miracles, or grand gestures, forgetting that God often works in subtle ways. Sometimes destiny reveals itself through your talents, the natural inclinations you possess, or the passions that stir your soul. Your heart knows your purpose even when your mind is distracted. Recognizing your destiny requires listening to that inner voice, paying attention to the nudges, and pursuing the path that aligns with your deepest calling. Destiny is not always easy to identify because it may not follow the patterns that society values. God's plan may call you to sacrifice comfort, to embrace discipline, and to rise above mediocrity. It may require you to reject conformity and pursue what seems impossible to others. But within the challenge lies the opportunity to fulfill what you were created for. Those who never recognize their destiny often settle for life's leftovers. They take paths that were never intended for them, working hard for outcomes that bring little satisfaction. They may achieve temporary success, but they miss the eternal satisfaction that comes from walking in alignment with purpose. Recognizing your God-given destiny is not about ambition. It is about obedience. It is not about ego. It is about understanding that your life has been created for a reason greater than yourself. Every skill, every experience, every trial, every victory you have encountered has been preparing you to step into your destiny. Nothing has been wasted. Even failures, setbacks, and disappointments serve a purpose. They teach resilience, refine character, and prepare you to handle the responsibility of the assignment God has entrusted to you. Many people live in fear of failure, thinking that one mistake disqualifies them from destiny. But God's design is not derailed by human error. The key is to recognize your purpose, to step forward despite fear, and to continue moving in the direction that aligns with the calling on your life. Your destiny is personal. It is not someone else's dream, and it is not the path of the crowd. You cannot inherit it from another, and it cannot be handed to you by circumstance. Only you can walk into it. It is your responsibility to discern, pursue, and embrace it. You will know you are moving toward your destiny when you feel fulfillment, even in the midst of challenges, when your efforts align with passion, and when doors open that were previously closed. Recognition comes with clarity. When you begin to see your purpose, you will understand that your life is not random. There is a divine pattern that has been forming since the day you were born. You will notice that the people, opportunities, and experiences that appear are not by chance. They are signposts guiding you toward the fulfillment of what you were created to accomplish. God's timing, preparation, and orchestration all converge in your life to ensure that you reach the place you are destined to be. Destiny cannot be postponed indefinitely. The longer you ignore it, the more opportunities pass by, and the greater the cost to your potential impact. There is urgency in recognizing what God has designed for you, because every delay not only affects your life, but also the lives of those you are meant to influence. Your destiny has a ripple effect. When you fulfill your purpose, it creates opportunities, inspiration, and impact for others. Every gift, every skill, and every calling within you has been designed to influence the world in a unique way. Recognizing your God-given destiny is the first step in fulfilling it. Without recognition, you cannot act. Without clarity, you cannot advance. Without understanding, you cannot align your life with the opportunities and assignments God has prepared. You must develop spiritual awareness, listening to the inner promptings that guide your decisions, understanding the passions that stir your soul, and trusting the convictions that cannot be explained by logic alone. Many people confuse desire with destiny. You may want certain things in life, success, wealth, approval. But those desires may not align with the purpose for which you were created. Recognition of destiny requires discernment, patience, and an understanding that God's vision for your life is far greater than your imagination. It requires courage to step away from the expectations of others, to refuse the paths of conformity, and to pursue the calling that may seem risky or unconventional. Recognizing your God-given destiny is the key to living a life of significance. It is the difference between mediocrity and fulfillment, between frustration and satisfaction, between a life that is ordinary and one that is extraordinary. You were not created by accident. You were not born merely to exist. You were born to fulfill a mission that no one else can accomplish. That mission is waiting for your recognition. Once you recognize it, faith can be activated, preparation can meet opportunity, and divine timing can unfold to bring your destiny to reality. Every moment you spend in ignorance of your purpose is a moment of delay. Every opportunity you ignore is a missed chance to step into the plan that God has designed uniquely for you. Your life carries a message, a gift, and a legacy that is meant to impact the world. Recognizing your God-given destiny is the responsibility of maturity, the evidence of spiritual awareness, and the mark of a life that seeks to fulfill its divine assignment. The path is not always easy. It may require sacrifice, discipline, perseverance, and unwavering faith. But when you align yourself with the purpose God has designed, obstacles become lessons, challenges become opportunities, and every step carries significance beyond the immediate moment. Faith is not merely a concept. It is the force that transforms possibility into reality. Without faith, your destiny remains dormant, like a seed that has been planted but never watered, a flame that exists but never ignites. Many people believe that destiny is automatic, that because God has a plan for their lives, everything will simply fall into place without their involvement. This is a misunderstanding. Destiny requires action, and that action is fueled by faith. Faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the tangible and the intangible. It is the spiritual conviction that what God has promised is true, even when your circumstances suggest otherwise. Every great life of influence, every person who has fulfilled their divine assignment, has done so because they believed in the promises of God before the evidence appeared. Faith activates destiny by positioning you to receive what has already been prepared. It is not passive hope or wishful thinking. It is deliberate trust in the character and word of God. When you exercise faith, you align yourself with the principles of the kingdom, the natural laws that govern favor, success, and divine order. Faith moves you forward when logic would hold you back, when fear would paralyze you, when uncertainty surrounds your path. Without it, even the greatest potential can remain unrealized, trapped in indecision, doubt, or procrastination. Consider the many stories of ordinary people who achieved extraordinary results. They did not possess superior strength, intellect, or resources. What distinguished them was their faith, the unwavering belief that they were meant to fulfill their calling, that the promises of God were reliable, and that their obedience would produce fruit. Faith is not blind, it is informed and intentional. It requires knowledge of God's word, understanding of His principles, and attentiveness to His guidance. It is faith that makes you take the step you were hesitant to take, speak the word you were afraid to speak, and act in the direction of your calling despite the risks. The moment you exercise faith, you release the energy of God into your circumstances. Faith acts as a magnet, drawing opportunities, resources, and divine connections toward you. It opens doors that appear closed, removes obstacles that seem insurmountable, and creates pathways where none existed. Faith activates destiny by transforming possibility into reality. It turns vision into action, potential into achievement, and purpose into fulfillment. The challenge is that faith requires courage. To step forward in faith often means stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing uncertainty, and trusting what you cannot yet see. It requires persistence in the face of doubt and resilience when the world questions your decisions. Yet, it is precisely through these acts of faith that destiny is unlocked. Faith is also a demonstration of obedience. When God calls you to step into a specific assignment, faith is the response that says, I trust you, and I will act according to your will. It is obedience in motion, an active partnership with the divine plan. Without faith, obedience is impossible because obedience requires trust in outcomes that are not yet visible. Every step of faith, no matter how small, is significant. Every decision to act despite fear, to speak despite hesitation, and to move despite uncertainty accumulates into the momentum that propels you toward your destiny. Faith is not a one-time act, it is a lifestyle, a continuous posture of trust that shapes your thoughts, decisions, and actions. It is the inner engine that drives perseverance, courage, and resilience. People often ask why some individuals seem to achieve breakthrough effortlessly while others struggle for years. The difference is faith. Those who believe in what cannot yet be seen, who trust in what cannot yet be measured, who act on promises that have not yet manifested, experience acceleration. Faith bridges the gap between where you are and where God intends you to be. Without it, destiny remains theoretical, a possibility that never materializes. Faith also has the power to release supernatural favor. When you operate in faith, you become aligned with divine principles that govern success, provision, and opportunity. The universe responds to belief. Favor gravitates toward those who trust God's plan, and obstacles begin to dissolve in ways that human effort alone cannot achieve. Faith is the activator of hidden potential. Within you lies a capacity for greatness that is unlocked only when you believe in your own calling. It energizes the gifts, talents, and resources that God has placed in your hands. Without faith, these remain dormant, unutilized, and unrealized. Faith compels you to take initiative, to act even when the path is unclear, and to persist even when the outcome is uncertain. It distinguishes those who are dreamers from those who are achievers. Dreams remain dreams without faith, but with faith, they become plans, strategies, and ultimately realities. Faith is also the shield against doubt, fear, and discouragement. Life will present challenges that test your resolve, situations that threaten to derail your purpose, and voices that question your ability to succeed. Faith sustains you in those moments. It is the inner conviction that says, even if I cannot see the full picture, I trust that God is guiding my steps, and I will continue to move forward. Many fail to understand that faith is not a guarantee that difficulties will disappear. Rather, it is the assurance that you will be sustained through them and that your destiny will be realized in due season. Faith transforms your mindset. It changes how you perceive challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. What others see as barriers, those who walk in faith see as opportunities, lessons, or redirections. It empowers you to maintain focus, clarity, and purpose, even when circumstances seem contrary. Faith is active, not passive. It requires decision, commitment, and movement. It is expressed in the choices you make, the risks you take, and the persistence you demonstrate in pursuing your calling. Every act of faith is a declaration that your destiny is worth pursuing and that the promises of God are reliable. Faith activates destiny by opening the eyes of your heart to recognize the opportunities that have been prepared for you. It enables you to see doors that others cannot see, to discern paths that others cannot recognize, and to seize moments that others allow to pass by. It is the key that unlocks the potential within you and positions you to step fully into the life that has been designed for you. Faith is also contagious. When you demonstrate unwavering trust in God's plan, you inspire others to believe, to act, and to pursue their own destiny. Your faith creates an atmosphere that attracts people, resources, and divine favor. It multiplies influence and impact far beyond your personal achievements. Faith must be nurtured. It grows as you act in alignment with God's word, as you step out in obedience, and as you witness the fulfillment of promises in your life. Doubt weakens it, hesitation stalls it, and fear obstructs it. But persistent, consistent, and courageous faith moves mountains, opens doors, and activates destiny in ways that human effort alone cannot accomplish. Those who understand the power of faith recognize that destiny is not claimed by chance. It is claimed by conviction, action, and trust. Faith is the mechanism through which the invisible becomes visible, the impossible becomes possible, and the dream becomes reality. It is the spiritual fuel that propels you forward, the divine signal that aligns your steps, and the inner certainty that reassures you will reach the destination God has appointed for your life. Opportunity is not random, and success is not a product of chance. Life is filled with moments that could change everything, but the key to unlocking those moments is preparation. Preparation is the silent work that often goes unnoticed, the effort behind the scenes, the investment of time, energy, and discipline that positions a person to step into greatness when the opportunity appears. Many people wait for opportunity to arrive, hoping that circumstances will magically align in their favor. They pray for doors to open without realizing that the door only opens fully for those who have prepared to walk through it. Preparation meets opportunity, and this principle is one of the most powerful truths in life. God does not give destiny to the unprepared. Every assignment, every blessing, every divine appointment is connected to the level of readiness within the individual. The education, training, failures, and experiences you have endured are all forms of preparation designed to equip you for the moment when opportunity arrives. Preparation is not just about skill, it is about character. It is about developing patience, discipline, resilience, and wisdom. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle what you have been called to receive. Opportunities can appear, but without the character and competence to take advantage of them, they pass by unnoticed or are wasted. Look at life's greatest success stories. Every person who achieved remarkable outcomes did not simply stumble into their calling. They prepared relentlessly, often in obscurity, doing what others were unwilling to do, studying what others ignored, and persevering when others gave up. When the opportunity finally came, they were ready. Preparation meets opportunity because life respects readiness. The universe, circumstances, and divine orchestration align to favor those who are prepared. The person who has spent years cultivating skills, building character, and understanding their purpose will find that opportunities that seem impossible to others are accessible to them. But opportunity is fleeting. It does not wait indefinitely for those who are unready. When the moment comes, hesitation can cost a person the destiny that has been prepared for them. That is why preparation is not just important, it is urgent. Every moment you spend developing yourself, learning, growing, and refining your abilities is a step closer to readiness. Preparation is also spiritual. It is not only about knowledge, talent, or experience, it is about aligning your heart, mind, and spirit with the principles of God's kingdom. Prayer, meditation, discipline, and integrity are forms of spiritual preparation. They equip you to recognize opportunity when it appears and to respond in a way that honors your purpose. Many people fail to seize opportunity because they are not prepared spiritually. They may have talent, education, or resources, but their character is untested, their heart is unaligned, or their vision is unclear. God's favor accompanies readiness, and readiness is built over time through intentional preparation. Life often tests preparation through challenges and trials. Difficult circumstances are not random inconveniences. They are part of the refining process. They build endurance, develop problem-solving skills, and strengthen faith. Every setback, every obstacle, every delay can be seen as preparation in disguise. Who recognize this principle understand that no effort is wasted. Preparation and opportunity are inseparable. Without preparation, opportunity becomes wasted potential. With preparation, even small opportunities can produce extraordinary results. The person who is prepared will be able to act decisively when the moment arrives, turning what could have been ordinary into extraordinary. Timing and preparation are intimately connected. Often, people encounter opportunities but are not ready, and therefore they fail to act or act ineffectively. Others who have spent time preparing may encounter the same opportunity and achieve phenomenal success. This demonstrates that preparation is not optional. It is the pathway through which destiny manifests. Preparation also requires discipline. It demands consistency, focus, and the willingness to do what is necessary even when it is difficult, uncomfortable, or unseen. Discipline is what bridges the gap between dreams and reality. It ensures that when opportunity knocks, you are capable, confident, and competent enough to respond appropriately. Every skill learned, every habit developed, every lesson absorbed contributes to readiness. Even failures are preparation. Mistakes teach you what does not work, refine your judgment, and develop resilience. Every experience, whether positive or negative, becomes part of the training ground for opportunity. Those who fail to prepare often spend their lives chasing fleeting chances, wondering why doors remain closed, why blessings seem delayed, or why success eludes them. The answer is simple. They are not ready. They have not invested the time, energy, or effort required to meet the opportunity when it arrives. Preparation and opportunity are also connected to vision. Knowing your purpose and understanding your calling allows you to prepare strategically. Preparation without direction is like effort without aim. It produces motion but not progress. The individual who has clarity about their destiny knows what skills to develop, what relationships to cultivate, and what experiences to seek, all in preparation for the moments when opportunity presents itself. Opportunity often arrives disguised as challenge or responsibility. Life may present situations that seem overwhelming, inconvenient, or unremarkable, but within these circumstances lies the preparation for future breakthroughs. Those who approach every assignment, task, and challenge with diligence, integrity, and excellence are unknowingly preparing for the day when a door will open and they will be ready to step through it. Preparation also involves mindset. The person who believes they are ready, who cultivates confidence, patience, and perseverance, will approach opportunity with the composure and decisiveness required to succeed. A lack of preparation often shows in hesitation, doubt, and fear when the moment arrives. Those who have prepared can act swiftly, seize the moment, and maximize the potential within it. The principle that preparation meets opportunity is timeless. It is evident in history, in personal achievement, and in spiritual fulfillment. There are no shortcuts to readiness. There are no accidental successes. Every accomplishment is the culmination of intentional preparation meeting the right opportunity at the right time. To ignore preparation is to risk failure when the moment arrives. To invest in preparation is to honor the destiny that God has placed within you. Those who understand this principle do not wait for luck. They create readiness. They use their time wisely, develop their skills, refine their character, and nurture their spirit so that when opportunity appears, they can respond fully and effectively. Preparation meets opportunity, and this is a truth that separates ordinary lives from extraordinary ones. Every person who has achieved greatness has done so not because they were lucky, but because they were prepared. They recognized the principle that opportunity favors the ready, and they invested in themselves relentlessly until they were equipped to receive what was meant for them. The invisible work of preparation may not be glamorous, it may not be acknowledged by others, and it may require sacrifice, but it is the soil in which the seeds of destiny grow. The moment of opportunity is only the fruit. Preparation is the roots that sustain it, the foundation that makes it possible, and the discipline that ensures it thrives. Destiny does not wait for hesitation, and opportunities do not linger for the indecisive. The moment comes and it requires action, immediate, bold, and deliberate. Many people have dreams, visions, and callings, but they remain unfulfilled because the individual is unwilling to act decisively. They wait for the perfect circumstances, the ideal conditions, or complete certainty, not realizing that decisive action is the bridge that transforms vision into reality. Life rewards those who act, not those who wait. The world is filled with talented, intelligent, and capable individuals who never achieved their potential because they delayed. Hesitation is the enemy of destiny. Every day spent in indecision is an opportunity wasted. Every moment of doubt is a doorway left unopened. God has designed your life with purpose, and destiny often arrives as a call to action. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain ordinary is not ability, intelligence, or opportunity. It is the willingness to act when action is required. The decisive action requires courage. It is not easy to step forward into the unknown, to risk failure, criticism, or discomfort. Yet, destiny demands it. God calls us to move even when the path is unclear, to trust even when the outcome is invisible, and to act even when fear whispers that we should wait. Boldness is a hallmark of those who fulfill their calling. Indecision prolongs struggle, while decisive action accelerates breakthroughs. To act decisively is to demonstrate faith in God's plan, confidence in your preparation, and commitment to your purpose. Action without delay is a declaration that you will not allow fear, doubt, or opposition to hinder your progress. The person who acts decisively understands that timing is critical, that hesitation can cost opportunities, and that the window of divine favor may not remain open indefinitely. There is a principle in life: moments come and moments pass. Those who seize the moment are rewarded. Those who hesitate are left wondering what could have been. Action creates momentum. Every step taken toward your calling generates energy that propels you forward. The first move is often the most difficult because it requires leaving comfort, confronting uncertainty, and trusting in what is not yet visible. Yet, once the first step is taken, momentum builds, doors begin to open, and clarity emerges. Indecision, on the other hand, breeds stagnation. It multiplies fear, increases doubt, and delays destiny. Many people fail not because they are incapable, but because they postpone decisive action, hoping that circumstances will align without their involvement. Waiting for perfection is a trap because perfection rarely comes. Destiny calls for imperfect action done with courage, persistence, and faith. Decisive action is also about responsibility. You are accountable for your life, your calling, and the fulfillment of your purpose. Others cannot act on your behalf, and opportunities cannot be claimed by someone else in your place. To embrace your destiny, you must take ownership, step forward, and engage fully with what God has prepared for you. Every delay is a decision to remain in the place where you are, rather than moving toward where you are meant to be. Decisive action is informed by vision and clarity. You must know what you are pursuing, understand your purpose, and recognize the opportunity before you. Action without direction can be reckless, but decisive action guided by clarity, preparation, and understanding of God's principles produces extraordinary results. The world is filled with people who talk about what they will do, who plan endlessly, who dream but never act. Words and intentions are not enough. Destiny is claimed through action. Every step you take, every choice you make, and every risk you embrace in alignment with purpose moves you closer to fulfillment. Boldness amplifies action. Those who hesitate often do so because they fear failure, rejection, or the unknown. Yet, those who act decisively recognize that failure is a part of growth, rejection is a stepping stone, and the unknown is the arena where possibility resides. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the determination to act despite fear. Decisive action requires confidence in your abilities and trust in the process. It means believing that you are equipped, that your preparation has been sufficient, and that your purpose is greater than any obstacle. Faith and action are inseparable. Faith gives you the belief that you can succeed. Action is the movement that makes it real. Dreams remain dreams until acted upon. Opportunities remain opportunities until seized. Destiny remains potential until claimed through action. Timing is crucial. Opportunities often appear suddenly, and the ability to respond quickly separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Preparation positions you to act decisively, but readiness alone is not enough. You must also move with speed, clarity, and courage. Hesitation costs more than mistakes. Even wrong decisions are lessons that can be corrected, but indecision often leads to missed moments that cannot be regained. Every person who has achieved greatness has done so because they acted boldly and decisively. They recognized the moment, trusted in their preparation, and stepped forward with courage. The consequences of decisive action are far-reaching. Not only does it move you toward personal fulfillment, but it also impacts those around you, creates influence, and establishes a legacy. The world rewards those who act while others watch. Decisive action requires prioritization. You cannot act on everything at once, and you must discern what aligns with your calling, purpose, and destiny. Choosing the right actions at the right time amplifies results. Misaligned action can consume energy without producing fruit, but focused, decisive action produces momentum, results, and transformation. Procrastination is the enemy of destiny. It feeds fear, increases uncertainty, and delays fulfillment. Every moment spent waiting is an opportunity slipping away. Decisive action interrupts hesitation and propels you forward. Boldness attracts favor. Those who act decisively are often positioned to receive support, resources, and opportunities that remain hidden from those who hesitate. The universe responds to movement, momentum, and courage. Action creates visibility, opens doors, and engages the principles of provision, favor, and breakthrough. Decisive action is an act of obedience. God calls us to move into our purpose, and obedience requires stepping forward, engaging fully, and committing to the process. Obedience is not passive, it is demonstrated through action. Without action, faith remains theoretical, preparation remains dormant, and opportunity remains wasted. Your life requires you to embrace responsibility. No one can claim your destiny for you, no one can act on your behalf, and no one can seize your opportunities. The responsibility to move, to act, and to step into what has been prepared belongs to you. Decisive action transforms potential into reality. It turns vision into accomplishment, dreams into achievement, and purpose into fulfillment. Action multiplies the impact of preparation, activates the fruit of faith, and positions you to receive the rewards that were meant for you. Those who hesitate may wait indefinitely, but those who act decisively experience the momentum, favor, and breakthrough that their preparation, faith, and readiness have been building toward. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary, between stagnation and progress, between potential and fulfillment, is the willingness to act decisively. Bold action bridges the gap between possibility and reality, between dream and accomplishment, and between purpose and destiny. Your life is not just about you. It is a living legacy, a chain of influence that stretches far beyond the moment, the place, and the circumstances in which you exist. Many people live as though life is a personal journey, concerned only with their own success, happiness, and fulfillment, without realizing that the choices they make, the principles they embrace, and the actions they take have consequences that echo far into the future. Every word spoken, every decision made, every habit cultivated, and every value upheld has the power to impact not only your life, but also the lives of your children, your family, your community, and generations yet unborn. The truth is that destiny is never isolated. It is a thread in the tapestry of humanity, and when you fulfill your God-given purpose, you set into motion a chain reaction that transforms lives in ways that may never be fully visible to you. Your obedience, your faith, your courage, and your commitment to your calling create patterns for others to follow. When you embrace the principles of God and live with integrity, purpose, and vision, you become a role model for those who come after you. Children observe not only what you say, but what you do. Communities notice the consistency of your character, and the world responds to the influence of your choices. Every act of discipline, every step toward excellence, every demonstration of courage and faith becomes a blueprint for future generations. This is why stewardship of your life is not optional, it is a sacred responsibility. You have been placed in this world not merely to exist, but to influence, to shape, and to leave a lasting impact. Many people underestimate the effect they have on others. They believe that their actions are small or insignificant, but the truth is that no life is lived in isolation. Even the smallest decision has the power to ripple outward, affecting people, opportunities, and circumstances in ways that may never be calculated or recognized. Your life impacts generations because your values become their foundation. What you prioritize, cherish, and uphold is often passed on, consciously or unconsciously, to those who follow you. Your commitment to honesty, integrity, hard work, faith, and purpose becomes the standard that others will adopt, imitate, and build upon. This is why education, mentorship, and example are so powerful. It is not merely the resources you leave behind that matter. It is the life you live, the principles you embody, and the vision you demonstrate. Your life can either inspire greatness or perpetuate mediocrity. Every time you pursue excellence, step into your calling, or act courageously, you create a pathway for others to believe that they too can rise above circumstance and fulfill their potential. Every time you give in to fear, compromise your values, or settle for less than your calling, you create limitations for those who look to you as a guide. Your impact extends beyond your immediate circle. Generational influence is not only about bloodlines, but about reach, mentorship, and example. Leaders, teachers, entrepreneurs, and visionaries who understand that their decisions affect multiple generations make choices with foresight, purpose, and integrity. They act not only for the immediate benefit of themselves, but for the long-term good of those who will come after. The principle of generational impact is evident in history. Nations, families, and communities that have thrived are built on the foundations laid by visionaries who understood that their actions today would affect tomorrow. Conversely, failure to act with purpose, integrity, and wisdom leaves a legacy of struggle, confusion, and limitation for future generations. Your life impacts generations because your achievements, lessons, and values become the inheritance of those who follow. Wealth, education, spiritual insight, character, and influence are all forms of legacy that can empower others. But more than material inheritance, the principles you live by, the discipline you cultivate, and the vision you pursue create the blueprint for success, resilience, and leadership in others. Children and younger generations learn far more from observation than from instruction alone. They watch how you respond to adversity, how you embrace opportunity, how you treat others, and how you persevere through challenges. These observations shape their understanding of what is possible, what is acceptable, and what is expected. If they see faith, determination, and integrity in your life, they are more likely to adopt the same principles. If they see compromise, fear, and mediocrity, they are likely to inherit limitations. This is why it is critical to live with awareness, intentionality, and accountability. The choices you make today are seeds that will grow and bear fruit in the lives of those who come after you. Your influence is not only immediate, but also exponential. A single act of courage or a demonstration of excellence can inspire someone to pursue greatness, which in turn influences others, creating a ripple effect that multiplies across generations. Leadership, whether in the family, the workplace, or the community, carries with it a responsibility to model principles that produce lasting impact. Your life matters because it shapes the narrative of those who will follow. You may never know the full extent of your influence, but the fact remains that your dedication to purpose, your courage to act, and your commitment to principles create opportunities for others to rise, achieve, and lead. Your life impacts generations because it sets standards and creates expectations. When you pursue knowledge, develop skills, maintain integrity, and embrace purpose, you set a benchmark for excellence that others will strive to reach. When you lead with vision, faith, And courage, you create an environment where others can believe that they too can fulfill their potential. Even your mistakes carry lessons. How you handle failure, setbacks, and adversity demonstrates resilience and teaches others that challenges are not permanent barriers but opportunities for growth. Generational impact is both deliberate and natural. Deliberate impact comes through mentorship, teaching, and intentional investment in others. Natural impact comes through the way you live your life daily, the habits you practice, and the principles you uphold. Both forms contribute to the legacy you leave behind. Your life impacts generations because influence is not limited to your presence. Ideas, principles, and values endure beyond your lifetime. What you instill in others, the example you set, and the vision you articulate continue to shape thought, behavior, and decisions long after you are gone. This is why your life cannot be casual or careless. You cannot live in isolation from your calling, for the reach of your actions is far greater than you may perceive. Every decision to act with integrity, pursue purpose, and embrace excellence is an investment in the future. Every act of faith, courage, and discipline contributes to the empowerment of others, creating leaders, visionaries, and influencers who will carry forward the torch of destiny. The lives of future generations depend on your willingness to embrace responsibility, to live with intentionality, and to pursue purpose relentlessly. Your impact is not measured only by personal success, but by the capacity you create for others to succeed. You are a link in the chain of human progress, and your commitment to principle, vision, and purpose shapes the trajectory of countless lives. Your choices, your discipline, and your courage ripple outward, influencing those who will follow and shaping the world in ways that cannot be fully calculated, appreciated, or measured. Tonight, God has spoken, and His voice calls you to rise above hesitation, doubt, and delay. He reminds you that your life is not ordinary, that your purpose is not accidental, and that your destiny is not for another but for you alone. Every preparation you have made, every lesson you have learned, every act of faith, and every step of courage has led you to this very moment. Do not allow fear, uncertainty, or the opinions of others to rob you of what is divinely yours. Your destiny is calling, your purpose is demanding, and your time is now. Step forward with boldness, walk in the confidence of your preparation, act with the courage of your convictions, and embrace the legacy that only you can create. Remember, greatness is not inherited, it is claimed. Influence is not given, it is exercised. Destiny is not delayed, it is seized. Tonight, the doors are open, the opportunity is before you, and God says, this is your time, this is your moment. Do not miss it. Your life, your purpose, and your calling have the power to change not only your story, but the story of generations to come. Rise, act, and step into the fullness of all that God has prepared for you.